Okay, well, welcome to another live stream of Hunter the Reptorians. I've added a little bit here with what I've been up to last week, just so that we sort of show off some of the new stuff. So, added a couple of cards, added a thermal pulse, which is a bit like the ion pulse, but it makes fire. And then I added one called Reloading Frenzy, and that reloads all the cards. Oh, sorry, reloads all of the guns in a room, but it creates a fatigue card, which is a card that just sticks around in your deck until it's in your card. It's a little bit like in Slay the Spire with Dazed, where you get dazed sometimes and it kind of clogs up your card, and at the end of your turn it gets exhausted. So for that, I needed to actually introduce exhausting mechanic. So that was difficult. Well, it wasn't difficult, but it took some time. So yes, added an exhaust pile, added volatile cards, which are essentially in Slay the Spire you'd call them ethereal cards, which are cards that will exhaust at the end of your turn. I added a nice little effect now, so when you do area of effect attacks, you see what's going to be affected. And previously, it was just you had to guess. I'm going to reset the tutorials because I added a data pad background, so it's a little bit they look a bit nicer now. And this is what I was alluding to earlier with the bulletproof TM card flow. So when I started putting in this fatigue card, which exhausts, I started hitting issues where I thought I might be hitting race conditions. And this, I don't want to get too technical here, but in there's three things I'm scared of: is wolves, needles, and race conditions. And race conditions are really when there's another fatigue card is coming into the discard pile, and then at the same time the discard pile wants to go and redraw back into the draw pile and then reshuffle and then go out of into your slots. If all of that's happening at the same time, it can become a nightmare. So I put in a new system, which will probably go horribly wrong today when I'm working through this, but it's meant to be doing everything logically instantly, and all the animations just happen in a little sequence. So it took a lot of time. I'm quite happy with it. There were quite a few bugs with it, but it seems to be working now. So I did some balance changes because reactor upgrades, but the enemy was just getting too many of them. And oh yes, the decoy wasn't very satisfying because you'd fire decoy torpedoes and they wouldn't be really attacking the ones that were that they weren't attacking the decoys. So they're much more likely to attack decoys now if you fire them. And I fixed some bugs. So card of the week, heavy torpedo with these nice sweaty muscly guys. And the idea behind this one is that it does 15 damage per projectile, but it only fires 3. So they're a bit more vulnerable to evasion, as you'll see, and you have to protect them, get them to their destination. But if they get to the destination, they do more damage than traditional torpedoes. So this will be seeded into my deck. The card of the week is seeded into my initial deck when I first start. So looks like I've already got an error there. So it looks like there's some tooltip issue there. Not major issue. Close that. So without further ado, I am going to begin. So yes, you can see the new tutorial has the sort of same background as this thing, which makes it look a little bit more fancy. So there's this introduction saying that you're a little bit of backstory. I'd quite like to have a nice image here, make this a bit more interesting, the first thing you see. And then, yeah, your objective is to make it back to Earth. I've reduced Earth distance to 20 as well. That's another thing I did, just so that it's a slight chance I might finish a run in one of these if I stop yapping. And then it gives you a bit of a tutorial on the resources, your decision panel. So let's head to Earth. So the first day is a quiet day. And then we meet our first enemy. So 2 days to intercept. So just carry on. Boom. I'm going to go through all of the tutorials, sources, salvo guards. So, got effective command. I'll use that, which just gives me an extra couple of draws, which is nice. Draws are things I can redraw any of these cards at any point, which is good for making it's good for making tactical decisions. I want to really sort of find the best synergies and keep them in my hand and plan ahead. So I've made this cheaper as well. So to scramble enemy targeting, which removes their targeting. I could do that, or I prefer just to make my targeting better. This is where I'm adding this extra power here is going to make a big difference because I actually have quite a lot of power to play with. Now they've got just torpedoes on this side and just point defense on this side. So I guess I will try and smash their torpedoes. This is just the starter ship. This is explaining about the intership zone is where all of the things go across. I was hoping to make this a bit more fancy. That was the thing I was hoping to do this week, but I'll probably go on to that next week. Because this is starting to look a bit... I'd like it to look better and be a bit easier to understand. So I can reload that gun. I might just save my energy. I'll scramble, why not? Because they're just about to fire. So when they fire... Let's just give me more tutorials. Now it's telling me about redraws. I'm going to lower the volume a bit here. It is blasting my ears. However lovely the music is, I'm going to switch it off as well. Okay, so what am I going to do? So point defense, as I mentioned last time, it is based on distance. So the further things are away, so this is 4 minus distance, so it will only you see there's red pips. That means it's going to shoot down 3 pips. So I'm going to wait one more turn for those. Although I could evade one, because evade is 1 plus distance, so that will evade 2 on maybe that one. And I can shoot some of those down later. I will lock on, and I'm just going to save that 1 energy, because the energy rolls over as well. So now I'm going to use my point defense. And I want to do basic torpedoes, but I think they've just flipped. They're just going to shoot them down or evade them. So I'm not very tempted to do that right now. I think I'm going to maybe jump back and evade. Reload that point defense. And I've got 2 torpedoes, so I could either swarm them with torpedoes next time, or I could wait for something like shunt. Or I could have decoys, but I don't have decoys yet. So I've got 5 redraws. I'm going to save ion pulse, as you'll see in a minute. That might be something that can save my torpedoes. So I'm going to lights. There's shunt. So this is getting quite useful. So I've got to reload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into these there's 2 torpedoes coming towards me. I'm going to move into them, which is going to launch them at me. I'm hoping they won't do too much damage. Oh, okay. They did hit my my weapons, but they haven't destroyed them. They're still functional. So what I'm going to do is torpedoes. Fire. I'm going to reload. I've got enough energy for this. Ooh. Let's do these heavies. Now I'm going to shunt my heavies forwards. And I'm going to save my energy for next turn, because if they try and shoot them down, I might have this ion pulse will give me a little trick. Oh. I don't know why it's just told me about repair now. I got repaired last time. I got damaged last time. Oh, this is one of the tutorials I quite like, actually. I've got my tutorial systems a little bit situational. So if what's happened is the tutorial system has said, I've got an ion pulse in my hand and they're evading. So it's giving you a little tip saying, Captain, I noticed we got Ion Pulse cards. If we play it, we can use it to disable their engines. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So we've got 3 energy. So I'm going to do Ion Pulse. And this will also show off the new little feature I've got where you can see when I hover over, now you can see which things are going to be affected by my Ion Pulse. So it turns out, and it may not be super obvious, that if I take out the engine room, the engines will stop working. I know that, but maybe I need to make that clearer. Maybe I should actually make it so that these go kind of, I'll have a think about that, but it would be nice to make it really obvious that this will take the engines out. So the engines are 0 thrust, he's dead in the water, no longer evading any of my torpedoes, which is great. What would be also cool, and I thought about this the other day, was shunt. I can shunt this back, but it'd be quite cool if I could shunt it forwards and shunt and immediately unleash it. So I was definitely planning on putting that in. So I am going to use my redraws to lock on again. I can't reload, run out of energy. Okay, started getting some internal damage, and Larry has taken a little bit of a blast to the head. Let's reload this gun. I could move them to just repair. Just what cards have you got? Lock on and scramble. You have Ion Pulse. I want to keep that Ion Pulse, so I'm going to move Victoria to repair this gun. And this is explaining that when you move them away from their post, their cards are unavailable. So that scramble and lock on are now unavailable until she moves back to her post. So what can I do now? The early ships don't have any engineers, so they can't repair anything. So they're going to try and flip, but I'm just going to blast them now. And I'll shunt this forwards, make it a bit faster. Reload the gun while Victoria's busily fixing it up. Just carry on firing. Reload. Light torpedoes. Reload. Light torpedoes. Oh, Larry's taken another one. Okay, victory. So you can see the way that the salvage works is that you get more, and I should make this more obvious actually. I should show how much you're getting for all these undamaged armors, but undamaged armor will give you more matter than the moderately damaged armor and the severely damaged armor and all those severely damaged guns. So there's going to be a slight incentive not to smash up all their guns. Is the idea. So I smash up their guns, and maybe guns are worth a lot more than the armor in terms of the resources you can get. So if you can find a way of smashing them up without smashing up all the juicy bits, then that could be a strategy you work with and build your deck around. So Nick and Dimitris have leveled up. So let's see what they can get. Outmaneuver, that's a good one. So outmaneuver means it flips the other ship, which is really quite good. I've made it very expensive in terms of energy, but it's quite powerful because it means that if they try and flip, you can subvert that. And violent maneuver is good at evading at any distance, not just far away, but it does quite a bit of structural integrity damage. I should normalize structural integrity to 100, really. Something like 500 or something right now, which is completely counterintuitive. I'm going to take out maneuver because it's really useful. And it probably means I need to nerf it because I take that whenever it comes. Now, smashers do triple damage to vulnerable armor and half damage to everything else. I'm not going to take that because I don't have anything that makes things vulnerable yet. So not only pointed that. Oh, well, this makes things vulnerable. And actually, this is one of the things on the list I need to fix. Is it says it fires a withering torpedo, but it doesn't say what the withering torpedo does. It should say does 2 damage per projectile, and it makes the armor vulnerable. So I could take that to make armor vulnerable, or I could take thermals. I've completely arbitrarily said that this is rare and this is uncommon. I don't actually know if thermal warheads is better than withering torpedoes. I'm just guessing. Hopefully, eventually, I'll have some data and people will, I'll get a better feeling for what's powerful. But for now, I'm going to just take witherings because I haven't used those. Although I did notice a bug in this earlier when I tried this, in that it, you'll see it when it happens. And Victoria or overload reactor, that's another one I usually always pick. This one means that you can boost your reactor power, but you have a chance of it taking some damage, which needs to be repaired. So have we seen any of the new cards I've added? Not yet. Hopefully we'll see them soon. Withering Torpedoes. I don't think I showed those last time, so that'll be good to show again. So we're 18 light years away from Earth. Got quite a bit of energy. I could leg it. But actually legging it is not a good strategy right now. I need to do more work on this as well. This whole campaign is very simple right now. But in some ways, getting close to Earth too soon is going to be problematic because the enemies scale as you get closer to them. So you kind of want them to be, you want to have encounters about now. In fact, I might even start slowing down. There we go. So I found another, it's a Corvette, it's a small Corvette. So it's not, so that's, I'm also going to have it so that you can see, give basically a bit more of an idea about what the shape of them is. Or maybe you just have to scan, and when you scan, you see you can, it gives away a bit of your stealth or something in exchange for getting a bit of information on what weapons they have and where their armor is, and that means that while you're coming towards them, you can refit your ship and maybe, I don't know, think about your strategy on the way. Just ideas I'm playing with in my head. So they've detected us, but they've decided that we are, they can, they've decided to come and get us. So let's meet them head on and see what happens. Actually, to be honest, I haven't looked at our ship, so we can upgrade things. I could upgrade this weapon here. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should upgrade this torpedo launcher. So we've got two shots. Right, so this is a bit of a tougher enemy here. So this is level 2 armor, which is tougher. They have got a better reactor here, level 2 reactor here, and a level 1 reactor. But other than that, they don't look too bad. Should be able to defeat them, especially with this boosted torpedo. So I'm going to just go straight off and try and overload this, and it took damage. So I'm going to repair it with you. I don't need outmaneuver yet. I haven't really got any redraws. What if we should start with redraws? So I'm still struggling with the fact that we don't really play the long range game here. I always seem to be point blank and only go back when I really need to. I'm going to try and make more cards that revolve around a long range strategy, so that you might be able to do your deck around a short range strategy, a long range strategy, or I'm going between the two ranges a lot strategy. Something like I was thinking like a power card for the helmsman, which is every turn you get a free maneuver. So these maneuvers cost 1 energy each. Maybe if you have one of those, or maybe 2 stacked together, you get 2 free maneuvers every turn, and that means that you're much more likely to go back and forth with the maneuvers at the cost of, an upfront cost of playing the power card. Anyway, what am I rambling again? So we got plenty of evade, so I might just take some of the sting out of that, and then I'm going to just blast them. Withering torpedoes now. The thing about withering torpedoes, and the thing that it's quite, I don't know if it's an accidental strategy, is that if I fire it at these weapons, it's less likely to hit the armor, because when it hits armor, it makes it vulnerable. So in some ways, I'd rather hit them there, in which case I'd rather really, really target that. And let's just do this, because it would be quite nice to take all those reactors down. Let's lock on. Got loads of energy. Let's shunt that forwards. Right, they're repairing these now, so they've got engineers on board. I can shoot this down nice and tidy. Now, what I might do is fire that there, And hopefully if I don't see this bug again, which I think I will, and even if I do, I think it'll be okay. Odd maneuver. Now, that removes 2 of our targeting. That's what they're doing here. I could do an ion pulse, and that should. I've got a bug card in for saying that if you knock out their engines, this should be unavailable. But I have a feeling they'll still play that, unfortunately, which is a shame. But I'll take out their engines anyway because it takes. Yeah, so that's the bug. Is that there were 3 that hit, and it immediately ticked down because every turn this ticks down by 1, but it seems to be very eager and ticks it down straight away. So that should say 3 vulnerable armor, but it's only 2. So I'll try and fix that for next time. But if oh man, what have they done? Oh, their odd maneuvers really screwed me over. Look at my, so this is what happens when you have low targeting. I've got -5 targeting, which has really made this huge. So what I'm going to do is cancel that, see if I can get some sort of lock. Let's use the lights so that we can get there in time. I should have saved, what I should have done is saved the ion for this turn, because then I would have been able to, I would have been able to stop them evading that. You live and you learn. Let's fire some more of these. And now I'm fresh out of drawers. Oh, that was interesting. So they attacked they attacked my... So that vulnerable armor took quite a lot of damage even from those light torpedoes. So effective command, which gives me some more redraws. They're going to try and reload. This is where I wish I had some of those flesh rippers to take Barry and Jack down. Flesh ripper torpedoes, as you would imagine, do more damage to the engineers. Well, to any of the Reptorians, really. Reptorian. I'm not. My torpedoes won't make it in here, but I've kind of made a good start on this wall, so I might carry on. I'm really looking for some sort of lock on here. Reload. Got an ion pulse. I'm going to save that this time. Oh, if I think it's going to tick down again, unfortunately. So look, when I do this, I think when I press end turn, it's going to go down to 0 before it hits. No. I think I might get lucky. Yes, okay, it's good. Okay, so those lights. Oh, one light snuck into the inside there underneath. It's a little weak spot there. Now they're going to flip, but I have a weapon up my sleeve that I've been saving. So if I flip them now, this will flip their ship. Then they're going to flip back again, which is one of my favorite things to do in this game. So now I flipped it, so Harold's on that side, but they're just about to flip, so they'll flip again, and that'll be funny. I'll just hit them on the same side. I haven't got a reload, so I'm going to flip myself and then fire the torpedoes on this side. I could have fired lights, but I'll probably wait. Although they have got point defense on this side. Oh no, they're flipping, yeah. Oh, Barry. Oh, what's happened there? So Barry's gone there and Harold's gone back inside. That was intelligent. I don't think I actually actively coded that into the AI, but I'll pretend that was my amazing AI that did that. Reload. Reload. Now, have they just evaded? I've got my ion pulse. I think I'm going to fire some heavies now. I'm really looking out for a lock on because I really want my... That odd maneuver really screwed me over. And this guy's really repairing it. Barry, stop repairing. I really want to get into this energy because they've got so much energy surplus. Don't even know if this strategy is good. They're going to fire torpedoes, but I can probably deal with those. Oh, yes. So I've taken that reactor down. So that reactor's... Harold's down. He's having a bad day. And the reactor is now non-functional. So they are pretty unhappy now, actually, and they're starting to panic. So I think I'm now on the good side of things. So I'm going to go and increase distance, and I'm going to start evading these. So now, because this is a 1+ distance, I get a nice bonus on that. Maybe I should make it 2+ distance, because I'm really not using those evades when I'm close. But then I do want to encourage people to go away. Oh, balance, balance, balance. This game is a hard game. I'm just writing some of these things down to think about later, because I don't get to play a game in a solid run until this is one of the reasons I like to do this, so that I can play this game in a solid run. And it would also be super useful, like I said at the beginning, to shunt this now, because they're just about to shoot it. It wouldn't be awesome if I could just shunt it into the enemy and get those hitting. But I do have Ion Pulse, so I can boom stop them evading it, which is now overload the reactor. Did damage again. Right, they're going to surrender anyway in a sec. Okay, more upgrades. God, give me some smashes. So now I've got that an ability to take thermals. They're quite fun, but smashes synergize nicely with the withering torpedoes. And if I'm really lucky, I'll get something like find weak spot, which also makes things which makes things vulnerable. Thermal pulse. That's one of the new ones. I'll have to take that. So I got my fiery bits in the end anyway. Right, let's get closer. Things are going to get nasty soon. Let's see if I can upgrade a ship. I could save up for another reactor update. That's 500. I could put a shield up. Why don't I save up for shields? Are so cheap. 100. So if I can save up 600, I can buy a reactor upgrade and then put some shields in. So this is a medium corvette now. Okay, so these guys are running away. So yeah, at this pace, we're very close. I'm slightly faster than 14.9 days to intercept. If I go full ahead, it's 2.2 days. I think that's probably worth it. So should we try and catch them up? Catch. There we go. Ooh, getting tougher. So they put a shield to. I can't do the same tactic now of trying to get through the reactors, because they've got a heavy shield here, and I haven't got anything anti-shield technology, which would be ion torpedoes, or I do have ion pulse, which would take it down temporarily. I have phase torpedoes as well, which go straight through. Oh, thermal pulse. I could use that straight away. So if I do that, see how many do it here. There we go. Setting little fires. They'll be putting those out in a minute. They'd use all of my initial energy, but I have, because I upgraded this gun, I can actually fire. I might just try and take out their weapon systems quickly with lights, because I'm hoping that their engineers are busy with these fires, so they're not going to be repairing these, because I'm kind of keeping them busy. And I do really need to damage. It'd be nice to damage the enemies as they're fighting the fires as well. It'd be quite nice. I'll have to add that as well. I did mention that last time as well. Reload. Smashes. This is where I need to start getting some synergies together. I've got withering and I've got smashes. I've kind of got nowhere to hit that's soft. I guess this bit here is where I could go for. So if I get some witherings out. Flip. Oh, I haven't got enough energy. I should have waited a turn. Why didn't I wait a turn? Because I can flip, but that's losing my last of my energy. Oh no! And now they've got a level 3 torpedo facing me. I'm gonna shoot this down. Oh no! They're getting tougher. Reload. What can I do here? What can I do? I could just fire more stuff. I've got a crazy, crazy idea. Because they are trying to do point defense. Point defense doesn't work so well at close distance, so I could try and get further away. And then I could fire these, and they'll, yeah. So they targeted my heavy torpedoes because the way it works now is that they target the thing that's going to do the most damage, however far away it is, which is quite nice when you fire decoys. So they're because they're stupid, right? I mean, I can get away with my AI with AI not being super intelligent because these Reptorians are kind of lizard brained. So they're attacking this heavy torpedo because they see these big torpedoes coming towards them, even though it's not the most efficient thing to take down. They're looking at these going 2 damage per projectile, but to be fair, it's not. It is not very useful because I haven't got anything following it up. Nevertheless, I'm going to take that as a small victory just to show the mechanics. So that's where range is coming in useful. Did they? So now they've flipped. The weak spot is in a different position. They've got weak point with the engines here, but it's quite hard to break into this one. Obviously, this one's my target because that's pretty. That's a lot of torpedoes. So I'm not getting to show my smashes really. I'll save them for another day. I might spend this turn moving forwards. And this is a bit cheeky. That work it. I don't know how to deal with that. I can move forwards twice, and I've kind of moved that forwards. Although they are evading it now. Or maybe I could get close enough so it wouldn't evade them. I can ion... No, I can't ion pulse them. I don't have enough energy. Sad. I could try and take that shield down with an ion pulse just before things get there. Right. I've got plenty of redraws, so let's work on this. Let's try and get something interesting here. I don't need point defense right now, but I will in a sec with those torpedoes. Maneuver. I'm going to overload this, get a bit more energy coming in. I got lucky that time. Reload, lock on. Now. This is where I can maybe hopefully get lucky and get some more reloads. Scramble, shunt that forwards. I don't think I need 2 point defenses, although that would be quite useful. I've used all my energy. I don't know how to play this game. Oh, what happened there? I think that's another thing I need to do is to make it clearer what happened. I think I took their did they surrender? Well, they weren't panicking, were they? I have to check on the video. They were either surrendered or I smashed up their hull enough. But I don't feel like I did enough damage to them to smash up their hull. To check there wasn't some problem there. It was a bit abrupt, wasn't it? Fortunately, none of my crew updated there. So I'm just going to carry on going. Although I have got enough energy for the reactor update. Boom! And I'm going to put a shield here as well, just to show it off. I'm going to go full ahead to Earth and see how quickly I can die. Right, so this is now a cruiser. Wish me luck. Holy smokes. Okay. Oh dear. So shields on this side. No real weak spots. For some reason they decided to armor up their backside here. I was thinking of having things that would like kind of go in and change direction. I don't want to attack from up at top and the bottom really, but I could have some as a general rule, but I could have some weapons that go from the top and the bottom or at least come this way and jink in or because it would be nice to use this space. I think someone gave me a nice feedback to say that would be good. And at one point I did have it so that this would automatically flip round and we could attack from any side, any of the four sides. but it was confusing. And then I wanted to add the flip mechanic, and how on earth do you flip something when you're rotating it? Um, do you have flip in two directions? It just got very complicated. So I could have some. I think of having some cars that attack from the bottom and the top. Quite cool for taking out their engines. But I haven't quite given it enough thought, and I haven't been able to come up with a decent idea for it. Anyway, I have got a decent ship now. Although by all intents and purposes, this ship could actually destroy me, because if you compare, look at this ship with mine, it's I shouldn't even begin to win, but I might, because I've got lots of decent cards now. So I'm going to wait a turn and just get that 5 energy, and then next turn and some draws, and see if I can get some combos going. So I think the only way I'm going to take this down is to get some combos. It's a shame I didn't get to show my reloading frenzy to show the exhaust pile, because here's the exhaust pile, but I haven't got anything really that exhausts apart from that card. I'm going to try and maybe add an exhaust card next time. I was thinking of having a commander card which would allow you to exhaust any card you like. So something like adapt or die, I was going to call it, so that you can sort of trim your deck as you go. I think Slay the Spire, what's it called in Slay the Spire? Somebody help me. The one where True Grit, is it? Where you can exhaust a card at random. So I'm going to attack these weapons because they're scaring me. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, heavies. I might distract them with thermal stuff, maybe in their reactors. I could shunt this guy forwards, so that means it's a guaranteed hit next turn with those heavies. I need to have more draws. I think I need to up the pace of rewards, because I've got to this point where I'm nearly at Earth, and maybe I'm just trying. Maybe I should increase the distance to Earth and make this a bit slower paced. I'm trying to make it faster paced for these live streams. But if it's slower paced, then you get more cards before you reach this kind of behemoth guy. The other thing that I will add, which I'm spared, is that they had 6 things to fire, and they only had 3 cards that they could fire. So I'm either going to add it so they can actually have 4 cards they can fire, or I'm going to add things that make it so they fire loads more, but it costs 2, so that they can make use of all of their hardware. But right now they only used 3, and then I smashed 3, so they're actually on this side a little bit sad, and they've realised that because they're flipping. So I could do my outmaneuver trick, because actually I've made a little bit of damage, even though it's level 2 armor. I've done some damage there, so I'm going to do outmaneuver. So next turn they're going to be back on that side. Let's reload this gun. Just use some lights, keep bashing into that hole. Might as well scramble them. Use all of that energy. And I've forgotten that they fired a ton of torpedoes at me, so just going to evade 1. I'm hoping my shields take most of it. Oh, that couldn't have gone much better. I don't know why Joe teleported from here to here. I think what happened is that I think they still move to the repair position even when they're dead. So clearly another bug. And also I think they should just disappear. I think the other bug is that they no other engineer can take that repair spot now that he's just floating lifelessly there. So I need to fix that. So many things to fix. These games are not easy to make. So now I really need to start taking care of these guys, because they're getting too close for comfort. Now, smashers. I really want to try and use these smashers. It'd be cool if I could smash in here. But in order to use, because they do half damage to everything else, so they will only do half damage unless it's vulnerable. So these are really kind of specialist cards, really. This smasher is really specialist for when I've got lots of... If I find weak spot, that would be much more powerful. Anyway, I'm tempted to say I back off a bit, give myself a bit more time to shoot these down and just save energy. because I've got another point defense now. I could flip. So what I might do, fire off these torpedoes, flip, fire off the point defense. I could have tried and evade that, but that's pathetic. I think I'm just going to go more offense. Now I've got witherings and smashes, so that's the combo I need. I could back off one more time. Just give myself one more turn. I'll back away because I've got a bit of energy and use evade to take those down. So now I've got 3 1s, which I'm not so concerned about. And I could evade again. No, I've got enough energy. Okay. Now they're going to point defense the hell out of this. Oh, this one's too hard. It's too hard. I'm scared. Reload. Might as well take this chance to reload. I want to make it so that there's a tactic that you can hang back and it's quite easy to deal with their torpedoes while you regenerate a little bit, and then you can go back in to attack. But my deck isn't really built for that, and I don't really have many cards that exist that are quite good at that strategy, but I'd quite like that to be a strategy. Basic torpedoes, I could just fire more, but I'm such long range. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to wait another turn, let these guys hit me. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Okay, now we're really making gains now. They're panicking now. They're very easy to panic. I did up this. I did make this a bit more aggressive recently. So I think they get really upset with their crew being incapacitated. I could change that to a percentage of the crew being incapacitated. I'm not sure if Reptorians should be quite so empathetic to their crew members. So I might nerf that two crew incapacitated for 10 morale per turn. Morale. I'm writing this down for crew. Okay, right. I really want to use this withering torpedoes plus smashes. It's sort of really been on my mind. So I'm going to try and evade this. Also, they're never shooting anything else. They're always just shooting my weapons. They should, in theory, shoot other stuff if there's better. There's a sort of, they have a weighting, and I will make that clearer here. I'm going to try and make it so that it tells you why they're shooting and why they're doing things. But sometimes they shoot your bridge. They should shoot your engines as well sometimes, maybe. I don't know. They do it based on how much armor there is. So I think if I had loads of shielding here, they'd choose something else. Right, let's overload this guy. Yeah, I got lucky again. This is good. So I can evade that, or am I going to see if I can get lock on, reload. Just evade one, barely worth it. I'm just going to let them hit. I got very lucky there. So I'm going to close in. I've got plenty, because I overloaded the reactors last time, I've got plenty of energy. So this is where I'm going to go for it, I think. So I'm going to do withering torpedoes here. I'm going to do it just about here because those weapons are actually going to get in the way of it hitting the hull. And then I'm going to flippity, and then I'm going to fire the smashers, which should then do extra damage. And then I'm just going to fire some regulars, which will also vulnerable will also affect normal weapons as well. Thermal pulse? Nah, not enough energy. They're not going to shoot at me again anytime soon, I don't think. They're panicking, so I'm going to get rid of that. Fire some more. I'm just going to really go for it. Oh, heavy warhead would be really nice. But unless I get really lucky. Yes, heavy warhead. Oh, yeah. Let's see how this goes up. No doubt they're going to... Are they panicking? So here we go. Might as well thermal pulse them for fun. So, Withering does the vulnerable. 18 damage for those. 12 for those. That was a good hit. Yeah. That was satisfying. That was satisfying. Right. 6 light years from Earth. Here we go. Find weak spot. That's what I was looking for. It's quite nice to have extra drawers though. But white weak spot works really well with the build I'm going for this round. Violent maneuver, to be honest, would be quite good right now. I've got plenty of structural integrity. There's no way of updating structural integrity at the moment. No way of healing. I'm going to have shops, and you find a sort of abandoned colony, and the colony has, you know, a little repair dock that you can go into, like a shop, or and you could buy some stuff, weapons and cards, and you can repair your ship, and maybe eventually even get a bigger ship, so you can maybe go into a bigger hull. Right, what have I got here? Another thermal pulse, ion pulse. Yeah, this is where I need more cards. Just need more volume. I'm not going to get any of those. Flesh rippers, got to get those. Oh, decoys. Oh no. Decision. Decoys would be super useful. Flesh rippers would be cool. I'm going to get decoys just because I'm not sure if just prove that they've been fixed. I think I used them last time, but they weren't very useful. So let's pace it. We've got loads of. Can I upgrade anything else? I can't upgrade this. This costs 1,000 to upgrade to the next level. So I could upgrade armor here, but I'm not really suffering with armor. So you can upgrade shields, shouldn't I? Shields should get bigger when you upgrade them. Right, I'm writing that down. Okay, give myself ideas here. I can upgrade. This will be 400, or I could just upgrade this to 200. I think this is my standard strategy. What on earth's going on there? I've got 300, so I could get more point defense here. Or I could strengthen up my armor and just have stronger armor here, but they're not really getting through, especially with that shield there. So I might upgrade my point defense here and have an extra strong side. Right, let's get to Earth. 4 light years. Reptorian cruiser, large. 3.9 days at full warp. Let's see if I can do it. Here we go. Engage. Yowzies. So they've got one particularly strong side on that side. So I'm glad I've got outmaneuver. What? Look at this. They've got like a point defense overload side. They're really into their point defense. So good luck shooting anything down on that side. I mean, shooting anything to that side. So basically, outmaneuver is going to save me here because I can just keep flipping them onto this side, which is a slightly more juicy. And they haven't got really strong armor on this side, so that is lucky. Good. Right, so I'm going to save find a weak spot, carry on locking on, keep my smashes because that'll be good for find weak spot, and ion pulse will be good for marshalling them. Almost need more slots. I'm quite happy I added 5. I used to have 4 slots, and 5 feels better because it feels like you can hold these better synergies in your hand. So, what do I want to do? I want to use all of them. Let's send the smashes in. And I kind of want to hit the armor actually, maybe there. And I'm going to, yeah, here we go. I'm going to shunt this forwards. Hang on, is that smashes? Oh, I need to have an icon for smashes. It just looks like a regular torpedo. I thought I did have an icon for smashes. All right. So I'm going to shunt that forwards. Then I'm going to weak spot this one. So it adds 2 weak, two vulnerable to that armor. So with a bit of luck, it will hit that. I couldn't go this way because of the shielding. they're going to fire a hell of a lot of torpedoes at me. So I could ion pulse that. I can't. I've got energy. Let's see. I don't need overload reactor. Let's see if we can. So it's done some damage. I'm going to have to move Sophia to fix the engines, fix the reactor. I've got witherings, withering heights. I'm going to fire those. I could just keep that vulnerable, that bit of armor. I should probably buff witherings a bit because find the weak spot's really useful because you can instantly apply it to some armor. Whereas witherings, you have to get this all the way to the target, and then it only does 3, and then it immediately ticks down because of the bug. So maybe I just need to get rid of that bug, and things will be fine. All right with the world. Okay, 2 good hits there. Point defense. So I could. What happened to my? Did I discard my ion pulse? It's a shame. That was silly. Decoys. That'd be good. That'd be pretty good about now. So let's flip a Rooney. Let's fire the decoys here. So they're correctly targeting the decoys now, which is nice. And that means that my withering torpedoes are going to hit their target. And they're going to hit it on vulnerable armor mostly. I could save my violent maneuver. Considering I've got so much structural integrity, it's probably okay. In fact, I almost want them to use this. This is perfect because they're going to use all of these point defense ammunition on these decoys. So they're kind of going to be. It's going to be harder for them to evade after that. I mean, to shoot them down. I could start evading These. I've got to deal with those one day. Can't run away from them forever. I could violently maneuver one now. There we go. That got rid of that whole thing. Scramble their targeting and save that point defense for another day. Oh, that's lovely. Because those are pretty useless. Simon took a bit of a battering. That's when the flesh rippers have been quite nice to rip these guys up. Decoy torpedoes. One. It's going to hit. It's got 1 damage. It's not going to cut the mustard. Reload. Point defense this one. I could retreat one more, or I could just take the hit. The other mechanic I was thinking of having was some sort of, and I might add this for next time actually because I think it's quite a good idea, is a power that someone can have, like the did I mention this one already, or did I mention a different one? Where the helmsman evades one from every turn. I think I mentioned a different one. It was in my head. So the longer you keep them in flight, the more they get evaded. It's sort of like almost like poison for them. Okay, let's carry on. I could do lights here as well. Might as well make the most of that vulnerable armor. Okay, they've done some damage. I should have flipped onto my good side. If I was good at playing this game, I would have done that. The other thing I'm thinking about is making it so that, well, I won't necessarily get into this, but I was thinking about giving people skills, like you do in FTL, so people get better at repairing, and eventually make it so that anyone can do repairing, and anyone can go to any slot. But some people are better than others. So one person might have some gunnery cards and some helmsman cards, and you choose between specializing them or generalizing them. So that is also in my little mind palace at the moment. Thermal Pulse. I do like this card. It's just satisfying to use. It keeps their engineers busy. Flip. Let's start firing some more ordnance at them. Oh, I wish I could have shunted that forwards. That would be nice. I'm thinking maybe I can start cloning, the ability to clone cards, because it'd be quite nice to sort of say, I've got a shunt. It'd be quite nice to have more. or just better drawing. If I picked that better drawing card earlier, it would have been quite nice to have shunted that forwards. But all that this means is that this is turning into an actual strategic game, because I'm starting to think that if I had a different deck, things could be easier, which is quite encouraging. So they're going to evade one of them. Not too bothered. Let's just carry on firing at them. I've got a bit of a lack of drawing power here. So I can't, this is an empty slot here. That just means it's harder for me to draw it's harder for me to make tactical decisions because I just can't get the cards I need. Oh, Barry. Poor Barry. Poor Simon. Now that there's 3 fires in this room. So yeah, fires, by the way, I haven't really explained what they do. They do damage the room a bit every turn, but they grow as well. So if they're not being put out by, like, these guys, Harold and Frank are putting these fires out. So they're going to put them out next turn, but there's no one putting this one out because Barry's gone. And because of that terrible bug I should fix, no one's going to take Barry's spot. So no one's going to put... So this room's pretty much destroyed. I should also have fire spreading as well. That would be nice. Reload. Reload. Just carry on. Just hit this area. I'm in now. That room probably doesn't need to take... I don't need to take that out, but hopefully it'll... If you can damage enough of their reactors, their shields will start... Because at the moment they've still got a positive net balance of energy, because shields take 1 turn, and you can switch them off. I think if I switch mine off, you can switch yours off and on. So I can switch it off, and every turn it will go down rather than up. Although I'm thinking of having a ability to, instead of doing that, you should charge it with cards, but I haven't quite made my mind up on that. Anyway, let's play this through because it's almost the hour now. So I'm just gonna, there we go, beat them. Crew, ion torpedoes, splitters. These are quite good. This is quite a good collection here. Phase torpedoes go through shields. Splitter torpedoes. They split. This is really overpowered. They double each turn, which is, exponential growth is probably not something I need in my game, but that could be extremely powerful. They've reached their card limit, which is a bit worrisome. I'm going to see if I can reach Earth. If I can try and get to Earth, then I'll stop it. If I have to face another enemy, I might stop the stream because it's been an hour now. But if I manage to get lucky and get to Earth, we could defeat Big Boss and see how disappointing the end screen is. Let's see if we can beat Big Boss. I reckon there's a little entrance here to get into their energy, and if I can get their energy down. Oh, they've got huge weakness here. I think I've overkilled them not updating the reactors because they've only got 1 surplus energy. They're going to be really easy to kill. If I can take that down, then we're in good business. We're in business. Well, I stupidly didn't upgrade my ship. Quite a lot of matter. Right. Don't need to use that. Lock on. Takes ages to cycle my deck now. I've got 20 cards. Overload. Got lucky. Flip. Torpedoes. I'm going to speed run it now. They are going to... I didn't see that. I didn't see they were going to be just shooting down everything. Something will get through. And they can only use that so many... They'll have to reload those. He's already... Yeah, that's the other thing. He's repaired it, like, just as it got damaged. That's a bit premature, isn't it? Should probably wait till the end of their turn before they repair. Yeah. Okay. Use my smashers. My could use ion pulse to take those down, but I'm going to keep my ion pulse on ice. They're going to fire torpedoes. Okay, so this would be interesting, right? So if I go up to maximum range, fire my splitters. Oh, no. Let's reload and then fire the splitters. Now this is fun because this is really overpowered. And if you use the tractor beam, the shunt, you can shunt it back, and it keeps doubling and doubling. I don't even know what the limit is. I don't think I put a limit on it. So it's extremely broken, but in a good way. Okay. So the only job I have to do is get these splitter torpedoes to their target. Now I'm so far away. Okay, I should have not used that evade. Because I got so much, I can start using that. I could use some lights to get there. They would only get there in 2 turns because lights go twice as fast. Oh, witherings would have been good to use there. If I can overtake the splitter torpedoes with witherings and make it vulnerable, and because it's doubled to 4 now, so it's going to get big. I just need to make sure it gets to the LZ. Right, so they are targeting with evade, but not for long, suckers. But if I can take these engine rooms out, they should be dead in the water. I can set those on fire. I'm kind of hoping that before this gets here, I get something that can tractor beam it back, and I can get the thing that makes that vulnerable. But we'll see. I could fire off my witherings, and I don't have any. Why not? Not enough resources. Oh, they still use energy. Okay. I took off energy usage from firing them because it seemed a bit mean because it costs energy to reload them. So I didn't want to have energy for firing them as well. But that one is obviously one that has slipped through the net. Fire smashers. Decoys would be quite fun. So if they do try and do point defense again, they're going to hit those. Now, it's time to pray for... What I'd really, really like now is the tractor beam. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Because then I could have brought that back again, because this has got 16 or something now. And it would have been 32. I almost feel like cheating to do it. I know how to cheat to give myself more draws. But I won't. We'll have 16 of these guys coming in. I did the job. Did the job. Now I need to think about these guys. Fine weak spot came too late. If I'd made that weak, I would have penetrated right into there. What can I do? What can I do? I can point defense this. Really like another point defense, really. I've got no draws. So I'm going to flip onto my good side this time, which is my shielded side. And I'm going to just take those like a boss. I got one through. So that looks like a lot, but they're only decoys. UI bug there. But I can find weak spot here. There we go. So when they do contact, at least they'll do more damage. And I can do my little glitch to move that closer. I don't really know what to do other than move that closer. I think that's just the way it's going to be. They're just panicking now. So we almost won the game. Just ending my turn now to just finish this. Oh, why did I get away with this? Scramble, overload. Uh-oh, I've destroyed my reactor. I forgot that I damaged it. Oops. That was bad. Anyway, I think they're going to surrender next turn anyway, so I'm just going to end turn. Oh yes, panic. You saw panic. The first, so that panic there is, it adds 3 panic cards to your deck, and those guys will just clog up your hand even more until it's because I've got my morale's just ticked into sad mode because I'm outsized and all that sort of stuff. So surely they're gonna surrender. Earth is so here's what you get for all of your efforts. This is where I need my writer to come up with something better, and obviously have a sort of stats that you did and something more exciting and better backdrop. I don't expect people to win, but that wasn't too hard. So probably need to make the game a bit harder. But anyway, a bit over time, but thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you next time, hopefully with some more improvements. Bye-bye.